If you can see it, take a magnet. I'm joking. Although. Hi, Yarnia. How's it going? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. I don't blame you. I was going to say take a magnet and use that if it would work. Or tweezers. Thank you, Jody. Google says it will come out on its own, hurt, or get infected. Here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get hurt, and then it's gonna get infected because you got hurt, and then it'll come out on its own because it's infected and everything's pushing it out. There you go. Dr. Google for the win. Yep. I am doing well, Yarnia. How are you? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. But lots, that's how it would work for me. You're so tired? No, Yarnia. I know, it's late there, isn't it? Or it's later. They could, Chibi. They could. Very poor sleep last night? Aw, that stinks. I hate when that happens to anybody. Except the guy that tried flipping my car a few weeks ago. I hope he has the best day ever with a pebble in his shoe that he can't get out. Still. Busy, good busy, but still very tiring. I get that. Okay, Jody. I wish I could get rid of this cough and the stuffy nose, then I'll be good. That is all. I like being busy though. Yeah. It's hard finding PG-13 songs. And it should be low enough that it's not overpowering. Honey and a pinch of cinnamon? Yeah. It happened yesterday. Like, Monday I was fine. Tuesday I woke up with the sorest throat ever. Now I'm gonna have this for 2 weeks, which kind of stinks, because next week I actually help train new hires. Yeah. So that's good. Of course it would happen right before that, right? Yeah, I actually have one that I'm drinking right now. It's called Throat Coat, and I don't know how it does it, but it's a little thicker than most. Then, of course, you know, Vicks Vapor Rub on the bottom of your feet, wear socks to bed, yep. That part I struggle with because I can't wear socks. I swear it's the back and forth weather. That's horrible. On all kinds of health. Oh, I was gonna measure this. Oops. Too constricting. Yeah, they always do. Like, I always think it's a good idea, and then I gotta take them off because I can't sleep. One of those things. And like, it's what's really funny is I don't even wear like tall socks. I wear ankle socks. Like, they go right below the ankle. Yeah. But yeah, I wear high tops. But I can't wear socks that go above the high tops. So there's that. Because why would that make sense?
Everybody out in the world, stop messing around. Calling all you freaks and nerds, you're just missing what you want. My brother's going down the drain, my sister's living the dream, but everybody's singing along. It's okay, we'll all soon.
Love from India? Hello, welcome on in. I'm gonna probably butcher your name, but I'll try it. Vera Raj? How's it going? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. If there's a name that you want to be called, just let me know. We're knitting today. Yesterday, we were crocheting. Tomorrow, pretty sure we might be knitting again. I'm not sure, though. Oh, thank you for that follow. I appreciate it.
Half the town screaming out in vain, the other half is fake, but everybody's singing along. It's okay, we'll all soon be gone. Hey, what's the matter with the bright red?
We're also raising money for Hope for the Day for the month. Hope for the Day is an organization that is trying to make it easier for people with mental health crises to, well, thank you, Jody, get the help they need. They're in all 50 states, 26 countries, and they speak 17 languages. Back with chicken pizza? Awesome. Appreciate that. I'm on my way. Not really, but I'm on my way. So we're going to have Vintage on Saturday with us. How exciting. Who says that is old? That's alright. Look, vintage cars are amazing. Vintage sewing machines are amazing. Vintage spinning wheels are amazing. Oh my gosh. My aunt asked me if by chance I wanted my great grandmother's wedding cake piece that was in her freezer. I actually found a museum that would take it. Yeah. It also had, like, the paper that stated who made it and where it was made and all this other stuff, like the exact flavor. It looks like garbage. I should see if I can find a picture of it. It looks horrible, though. I don't know if I should, like, share it with y'all. Chibi, how's it going? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. And look, the vintage My Little Pony are better than the newer ones. But I gotta agree there. So there is that. I just got tired. I'm okay though. Don't worry, I am okay. Just that time of day when it's like everything from the day hits you. Oh, y'all want an update on the kid at work? I found out, I thought he was like 19, right? I can't take a nap. If I take a nap, I'm not sleeping at night. But yeah, I thought he was like 19. No, first he's 26. Second, he didn't show up today. Yeah. I mean, he's getting let go tomorrow, but he never showed up. He called my boss at 6:15. Yeah. Yeah, the new person. Yep. It's alright, he's gonna get let go. But yeah, he calls my boss at 6:15, which is less than an hour from the next shift. Yeah. Yeah, so he's not even getting paid for the day. Brendan, you made a stew today. It's vegan, sweet potato, Asian stew. Froze 3 jars for yourself. Awesome, that sounds delicious. Yeah, people don't... I mean... certain people don't want to work, but they want the money. And like... yeah, it's horrible. Minecraft drops. Ooh. I do not play Minecraft. Shay, if working consists of me working on this, yes. If working consists of me waking up at 5:30 in the morning and getting ready to leave my house for about 10 hours, then no. How are you, Shay? What you do, yeah. Left work, just not early. And not with jerky people. Right? That's the key right there. People don't want to incorporate work. They want to craft or write or draw or sing or play or otherwise create. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my job. I just don't like getting up at the booty call of dawn. I like to sleep. They do, well, they want to be paid what they think they're worth. I say pay them what they're worth at work. So if you're worth $2 an hour, you get paid that $2 an hour. Whereas somebody that literally does so much should get paid more. Massage therapy, awesome. No lots traveling, that's different. Your 4 alarms go off at 4:45. This has been the case for nearly 10 years. I still don't like, right? Yeah, I've been working where I work for 14 years, and I still don't like it. But I don't want to go to evenings or nights. So I suffer with getting up at 5:30 in the morning. 5 days a week. I only use 1 alarm though. Well, technically 2, but the first one's for Maple to go outside. The second one's for me. Like, keepers, we only did 2. No, we did 2. Yeah, I had one for a while with Maple for 3:30. I'm like, this is for the birds. You gotta hold it until 5:30. When you go to bed, oh my gosh. Cody says that as though they're her time. Whereas if you go off East Coast time, it's perfect timing for Jody. Before the sun wakes up. Ugh. Terrible. I'm not wrong. People be like, you crazy getting up at that time. Have a few alarms. I mean, understandable. Oh, that's terrible, Shay. Terrible. The mood. I mean, for years, it was my choice of working double shifts, so yeah. That's a mood. So Saturday, we're gonna be just stitching away on whatever thing we're making. I think it's the coffee one. And Vintage is gonna work on something. And we're just gonna chat it up. Like, you know, we're promoting the Hope for the Day organization. Which I do have some incentives for people if they want to donate. You don't have to pick any, or you can pick one. Yeah. Hope for the Day is trying to spread the word about how it's okay to not be okay. Hi, Admiral VV. How's it going? I hope all is well in your corner of the world. Oh, I had pinned that. We're just chilling and chatting and crafting and maybe a little chaos. You never know. We do have an ad break coming up in about 13 and a half minutes. Yeah, I see that. It's horrible. During that ad break, I think I'm going to go get my throat spray. It doesn't help for a very long time, but it helps a little. Or a cough drop. I'll grab a couple cough drops. Not bad. Been having trouble sleeping the past few days. Reynards is playing up to... Aw. Makes sense, then. I'm fighting with whatever I have here. I swear, it's the back and forth weather and all the seasonal allergies going on and stuff, and it's terrible. 0 out of 10 do not like it. Take it back. Mother Nature, take it back. But we're working on a cardi. I never updated that. I updated other stuff. And I added a timer for a trigger warning. So this cardi is the first of its kind. It is for a designer in the UK. And this one, this specific one that I'm knitting is going to be for the pictures. But I didn't update my pattern one. Oh, I did fix it, see? Free. It makes sense. Yep, I did it. Go check out phones.com/Jody is here. You know I did that for a reason, right? Because you kept complaining yesterday that it was Liz's. Yep. That is all. Yeah, hold on. I gotta blow my nose. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. It's sweeter than I thought it would be.
I didn't want to put it in the red first.
Okay. I couldn't figure it out. Okay, she'll agree that you deserve it. I'm not sure you know who my mother is, so yeah. It's alright. She would say just accept it. Oh gosh. Who's doing this? Who did this? Shay! Oh my gosh, Shay, that's a pretty one. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate it. Mama Fader is my mama, yeah. Yep. 100%. Hey, come here. Get a note from their parents stating that it is okay for you to go to their camp this week. What did you do, Shay? What, Jody, what did Shay do? I need details. Did you? She needs it. She's almost out. She only had 4 more, Mom just said K. Oh, see? Mama's okay with it. Yeah, poor baby girl. She's gonna get home late. I have a feeling today and tomorrow. No floss, but a floss helper. For Jody? Okay. Come on. Roving? Okay. Yeah, true. After this row, I'm gonna measure. I think I need 1 more. That's all you gotta say? Maple would agree because I think you copied that from when Maple typed to Caleb. We gotta work on spelling with Maple. And just like that, there's no kids in my house right now. I'm thinking of it, Shay. Oh, that one's pretty. I gotta figure out where to get them. I guess that's the downfall right now. That I don't know where to get them and if they come pre-programmed. Because I think she's gonna be smart enough for those. That's mood. Maple, I don't know what she's doing. She's being silly. She gets mad when the kiddos leave her, though. Okie dokie, Jody. So Dreaming Robots is designing a electric drummer for mixing fibers together, which is kind of exciting. Not sure if I'll get one. But we do have an ad break coming up in a couple minutes, about 5 minutes. Have to record what they say. I guess that does make sense. I'll have to figure that out. You know, probably introduce one at a time. Right? Can't be that difficult. I would think, right? The answer would press the foods button 24/7, probably. I mean, I trained Thomas and Gordy to ring a bell to go outside. This was before, like, the popularity of the buttons. But I guess it could happen. How awesome would that be? I might have to Google how to do it. Dr. Google to the rescue. Right? Okay, we do have an ad break starting up here, and I'm gonna get up and stretch and go get a cough drop during this ad break. But we'll also video up. But I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Mental health, like physical health, is something we all have. When we talk about mental health, it's usually about depression, anxiety, and thoughts of suicide. But what's not said is that it affects us all. Think of